serment reste fidèle. Moi, j'en mourrai, Charlotte. Un autre son épaule.
Very nice job. And as I was looking for the scores, I forgot to ask you, can you, after the fact then, introduce the scene to everybody? Just in a nutshell, tell everybody what the scene is about. Yeah, yes, okay. Can you do that?
Sure. So this is from Act 1 of Werther, and Werther has been invited to take Charlotte to the ball, the yearly ball, and they had this wonderful time, and he was obsessed with her from the moment he saw her, and he's brought her home to her home, and he is trying to even impart a small amount of what he feels about her. And as she talks more about her life and her responsibilities and duties, he falls even more in love with her without realizing that she's engaged.
Great. So this was very, very touching, and I think we got the scene even though you had not introduced the scene, and you both feel the scene very well. There are a few considerations that I think are important. First, the first one is what we were talking about yesterday, which is about the phrasing of this. So it goes to this valser that always stops on the fourth beat. Cha-cha, cha-cha, cha, cha, ya, cha-cha. So there is this kind of very moving waltz, but that has all of a sudden a tendency to not go somewhere or being suspended, which is what this relationship is about. You know, you kind of start something, and then oops, it's up in the air. Of course, that's what turns you on. You know, that's impossible object to reach. So technically, that needs to be there every time you have this. And then if you look at the score, you have many more indications. What Massenet does, and it's quite unique to Massenet, he always tries to tell you which word, which syllable is the one that you should stress within the phrasing, and sometimes that goes against the natural flow of the language, and that's where it's even more interesting. So all the work we were trying to do earlier on these two Bizet pieces to try to find what is the word you want to give a little more energy or articulation, weight, or a little softer. Here, Massenet already does this for you, and you didn't do, let's say, half of those signs, which help you understand the phrase. So it's not, again, not only a matter of language, then it helps you understand a musical matter. So very often you have that. So maybe we can take this from, let's start maybe, vous avez dit vrai, c'est que l'image de ma mère est présente à tout le monde ici. Vous avez dit vrai, you have a crescendo diminuendo there, and then c'est que l'image de ma mère est présente à tout le monde ici. And then there is a diminuendo, which has to do with the fact that she is not here, for instance. Can we just start there, and then we're going to work? Do you see where it's? Yeah, yes. This is already very convincing. Vous avez dit vrai, you have a diminuendo. Then, c'est que l'image de ma mère, it's piano, but we still need the c'est of c'est. The softer you are, the more articulation we did. And tout le monde ici, diminuendo, but you're getting a little out of breath a little. So you need to take enough breath. Before you need to move the whole hulu-baloo, so you're not late in the end. Et pour moi, je crois voir, there is an echo here. Sourire. So it's not, et pour moi, je crois voir sourire. Et pour moi, je crois voir sourire. So it's conversational. All of a sudden, in the middle of the phrase, thinking of many different things, there is, although you're doing something else, this final point that's here. So we need to feel this. Otherwise, it's da-ga-da-boom, 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 da-ga-da-boom. So that trajectory must always be very clear in your mind, although there might be all of a sudden a little travel that's going a little further down, but in the end you are making your point. So that's and in order to do this more effectively, try to see those crescendi diminuendi there. They all have a meaning. Sometimes you can say, well, you know, that doesn't work for me, but you need at least to consider it. Shall we do that at the same spot? Here, quand je prends soin de ses enfants. He's putting an accent on each of them. Quand je prends soin de ses enfants. And he writes expressive on this. And then a big echo, de mes enfants. Her children, who are your brothers and sisters, they become your children, my children. So that's very important to have that expressive tension and the echo quality of it. Let's start. Et pour moi, je crois voir, for instance. Can we start on that bar? So there is another color in the je crois voir. Et pour moi, je crois voir. You're correcting yourself. So we need to have a different color. Whatever it is, we need. Otherwise, it's the same line. Okay? It should be the same line, but it should not be the same color. Yes. Good. That was very nice, huh? And I think we could refine it, but that's that feeling. And same thing in the end, that beautiful phrase, cher is the other one with, he puts a little tenuto, which is kind of almost like an accent in the case of Massenet. Again, it's indicating to us which syllable he wants to be stretched a little. Chère maman, que ne peux-tu nous voir. Hein? So le tu is very important there, and voir is sparendo, totally diminuendo. Can we go the bar before chère maman? Great. Very nice, very nice. Let's go to the ecstasy that you have after that. Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you see here?
A big pepper.
Pepper.
Yeah.
So pepper or pianissimo?
Pianissimo.
Pianissimo. Okay. So there is this, carried away. I mean, this is the English translation, but I guess on extase, and so there is this. Oh my God, this is too much for me, And she's even talking about death, So that goes with the morbidity of the character there. Huh? Love and death connected, and you know she will never say yes, and that creates a whole word in you. Huh? This is quite dark, actually. Yes, or dark. But here there is something that is very sensual. Not to use another word, that's growing and growing and growing. You have a very strong, large voice. And so you want to prepare that with a contrast where it starts from very far away. And she's going to help you that by playing absolutely pianissimo there. So maybe you can help him. You rewrote Massenet too. You added a beat before Il demande souvent d'un temps inconsolable. But it will come back another day. Don't worry. Let's start maybe 2 bars just to set the atmosphere for him. So 2 bars before Il demande souvent.
Il demande souvent d'un temps inconsolable, pourquoi les sommes noirs ont emporté maman.
Okay. So for me, you're trying very hard to show that it's dark and sad. That's, for me, one of the secrets of the French music in such instance. What you're doing would be probably right in 19th century Italian repertoire, probably, maybe not necessarily. Here, feel that, but don't pretend to act it. So you need to, So there is something melodramatic and sentimental about what you're doing, which is wrong. You need to feel, these guys came in the room and they talked about it in front of the brothers and the sisters. The truth of that emotion, or you tapping into something that resonates with that emotion, is going to be much more powerful than, oh my God, they came, they came too. You know, that doesn't work. You kill it. Huh? pourquoi, which is somehow in French say pourquoi. Pourquoi? So all of a sudden you see that there are other thoughts behind the text. Pourquoi les hommes noirs? So that pourquoi surging here, which is almost a metaphysical question, is important. I think you still be a little too much Sunset Boulevard. So that's fine. Just you have it. Just feel it and deliver the text and the purity of the line, and it's going to work. And I mean, I'm the first one to always say, people, I need to feel more. Feel. But don't pretend to act what you don't feel, or don't try to find what you feel with fake acting. Okay? So it's just about being, it's about integrity of the feeling and the projection of the feeling.
Il demande souvent d'un temps inconsolable. Pourquoi les hommes noirs ont emporté ma mort?
Even less than that. Can you try mezza di voce? That was great, huh? And it's carrying nicely, and it's better to have too much than too little. I agree with you, but we want something that's authentic. As crazy and hysterical as the whole scene is, he's more hysterical than she is, obviously. There, so too. Can you try to give us a color that's really going to be almost out of the timbre of the voice? Huh? So let's go right on it. That's great. No, that was 100%. Give me 50% of that. And even more text. Great, that's great. But it's no rêve. Rêve. That E muet, you know, the French, the silent E, or I don't know how you say that in English. Schwa. Sounds very French. Schwa. Ce cheveu. You know, it's going into nothingness. That's so it needs to be shorter. Soft. Everybody hears you. This is great. The violins are bisbigliando here. There's nothing. You're making much more an impression with a pianissimo there. Huh? So here we're having a tempo disagreement. That's why your verb was too long. Give him more time to build. So, yeah, but you're doing rêve. No, rêve. The verb of rêve is lighter. Exactly. Huh? Don't tire yourself. We're getting there. The long notes, that's where it's stylized. But you will never speak like that. But put the crescendo in the long, all of a sudden, there is something like nature growing through the voice and in you, and something really getting stronger and stronger that goes through those long tubes of sound. So we need to feel that. So those long notes can have a crescendo, otherwise it's a crescendo by steps. Okay. Start even with a slower tempo, softer by any trick you can, and be as soft as you can, and try to remember it's more rêve, extase. It's pulse, release, tension, release. And bonheur, then all of a sudden it's on the second one. Okay? Lighter. Text and lighter. Good. No. It's two words, one idea, but you are qualifying it even deeper. Because right now it's 1 kilo of oranges, 2 kilos of oranges, 3 kilos. It doesn't work, you know. Extase, bonheur. So you have this crescendo of feeling.
I'll do that.
Well, maybe not, but you see what I mean, huh? It needs to grow, and that the silence there, it's still growing in the silence, okay?
Extase, bonheur,
Happy, happy.
je donnerai ma vie pour reconnaître jamais ses yeux, ce brillant charmant, cette bouche adorable et ton mille ravie, ce que nul entend et contemple.
Great. I mean, and it's but you need to pace that phrase in a way that's going to make this end sound like, paf! You open something in the universe, and all the qualities are there. Great. Listen, time. I think we're up with time. This was wonderful. Thank you, guys. Very, very interesting. Nice. Thank you, dear.